Hey, what's up? Yeah, it's Yev. It's me again. Uh, this time I want to record a pretty sweet case. This is from a while back. It's a patient who I think like a middle-aged female that had an appendiceal kind of lesion on CT, and it was dilated appendix, so they took it out, and with the thought of this could be acute appendicitis or some sort of mucinous neoplasm. And you could see from like low power, this case is pretty sweet because here you have like this appendix that's filled with this juicy mucin. You have this stuff over here, this stuff over here, and then again another appendix filled with this kind of mucin. So let's just go in on one of these spots and just check it out. So this is a fun case because I haven't seen too many of these. Like I've seen LAMNs, I've seen Hammonds, but this one is really cool because it's kind of like a mimicker. You have this if you notice, like you have this like really dense material here, and it's almost like pushing out into the lumen. So that's why it's so cool. You can see this transition zone, like this dense hyalinized stuff. Like check it out, and it's actually like this proteinaceous, almost like thick proteinaceous fluid. And then it's kind of like diffusing and getting less and less I guess concentrated, and it's becoming more of this kind of like material. So anyways, uh, let's get to the business end of this case. So the first thing that we want to think about is this low-grade appendiceal mucinous neoplasm, or also known as LAMN. And for those, there's like certain criteria that you need to meet. You need to have like no lamina propria. You need to have like some kind of glands that are have atypia and so on. But check this out. This is actually a super duper cool case because if we look at it here, like at some of these glands, you could kind of convince yourself and be like, oh yeah, maybe there's some atypia, maybe there's some pencillate nuclei, maybe here. Well, then you're like looking at it over here, and you're like, I don't know. These look like pretty normal colonic mucosa glands, like, you know. And then you look here. Here's normal gland, and then here, look at that. There's lamina propria. So that if depending on which criteria you use, but in general, the criteria that I read about is that if there's lamina propria present, um, it makes it a lot less likely that this is a low grade appendiceal mucinous neoplasm. So, and you can, as you're zooming through here, again, you could kind of be like, oh, I don't know, is this kind of pencillate nuclei? Maybe. But then you get here and you're like, these are normal colonic glands. Like these are totally normal. And because there's this, not mucin, sorry, lamina propria, it makes it, it doesn't make it a low grade appendiceal mucinous neoplasm. So that's why this case is super cool. And we showed it around to different people, and we all agreed that there's just not enough features here to call it an appendiceal mucinous neoplasm. So this was signed out as appendix, kind of descriptively, and then consistent with appendiceal mucocele. So this is a very, very cool case. I have not seen a case like this before, because it's just so rare and unique. And another interesting thing is, so like I was trying to read up literature about this topic, and there's a lot of like these case report about appendiceal mucoceles, but when you look at the pictures in pathology, there's no pathology there. They're all like radiology case reports. Some of them are surgical case reports that don't even have like images. So, like you just basically got to rule out that it's not a low-grade mucinous appendiceal like a LAMN. You got to rule out the mimickers, which I'll talk about shortly from the paper that I was reading, and then you're good to go. As long as you rule out all the bad stuff, you're kind of left with the good stuff. So let's look at some of the papers that I looked about this topic. So I liked this one. I found a few. A lot of them, like I said, don't even have like pictures. This one was pretty nice. It has pictures. So we can look at, it has good pictures too, not just pictures, it has good pictures too. So and this was when it was published, pretty recently, like 2021, so that's pretty recent, that's something good. It's a good read as well. Very fun, very nice read. So, okay, so remember that case that we were just looking at, right? You see, this is a nice example of what a LAMN should look like. Low-grade appendiceal mucinous neoplasm. That's what it should look like. It should have these kind of like, let me just turn this off. It should have these like atypical kind of some like adenoma-like glands, pencillate nuclei, and then it needs to have like, see the basement, sorry, the lamina propria is completely eroded, so it's not there. And for D, loss of lamina propria and obliteration of muscularis mucosae too, that can happen. But we had that, so it's not that. And then here's just another example. Let's see, pushing kind of invasion, because at this point these glands are neoplastic glands and they're cutting through that kind of stroma. Here's another great example. Check this out in B. Like this is a really nice. I love these pictures. So again, you could see that there's pencillate kind of nuclei. They're dysplastic. They're mucinous. Here you have this kind of serrated, like, or not a serrated, but like a saw-like, pattern. And then here again, classic loss of lamina propria and muscularis mucosae. It's gone. So yeah, we don't have that here. And then if we go back, let's go back, and then this case talks about some other stuff. I guess the differentials to keep in mind, the mimickers is acute suppurative appendicitis, appendiceal diverticulum. That's a cool one. And then you can also have a differentials of retention cyst, where there's like no, just a cyst with no lining epithelium, and of course endometriosis. This is a high yield one. I've seen endometriosis in an appendix before. Very cool to see it. So again, if we come back to this case and then we go a little bit low power, you could see that in this situation we have abundant lamina propria. We have this thick jelly-like, very cool mucin just pumping through into the lumen, and then most importantly, these glands, they are not atypical. They are just your colonic epithelium that is just pumping out loads of mucin. Like wow, 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 wow. Like it's absolutely remarkable. I just haven't seen anything like this ever, which is to me that's a super duper cool case. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this. I'll try to post this really cool cases more frequently. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.